more than to devour Giro's previous androids, 17 and 18, believing it would.
I devour Android 18. Oh, if you didn't know, hi, Kuro, proud lesbian. Cell vs. Metal Sonic, Dragon Ball Z vs. Sonic the Hedgehog. By Death Battle! And as always, you know the original video will be in the description below, and without further ado, let's get it! I'm just gonna say this right now, there's no way Cell is losing me. Cell is a solar system buster. Yeah, this is gonna be a slaughter.
Cell versus Metal Sonic.
Which copycat android is truly the superior model?
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
Well, only
And
one
it's
of
our
them
job
is
to analyze their
perfect.
weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
So basically how Cell wins,
There's
basically.
a monster stalking Ginger Town. No one who's seen it has lived to tell the tale. All it left behind was their clothes. Something ate these people's insides, leaving only a shadow behind.
Some kind of creature driven only by the need to feed. Earth's new apex predator, the ultimate life form.
But I have the need to breed.
The Namekian Piccolo went to investigate this manslayer and discovered that it was intelligent. Its
Why did
tail
he
could
say
unravel
Namekian
to
was
absorb
such
its
a,
hapless
like,
victims
hard
and
in?
add their energy to its wretched gestalt.
But the nightmare was only just beginning, because for its last trick, somehow this freak of nature knew the Kamehameha.
The mystery of this
The
creature's
Kamehameha
origin
wave.
was decades in the making.
Hold on.
Years ago, the world was terrorized by the most advanced paramilitary
There we
organization
go.
in history. The
I've been
Red
thinking it's
Ribbon
been a little
Army.
loud
Until
lately.
they got rocked by this little kung fu gremlin, Son Goku.
But Red Ribbon's dream
He's
of
a monkey
revenge
boy.
lived on within
Goku
their
monkey
head
boy.
scientist,
Wukong.
Dr. Giro.
Hiding away in his spooky cave laboratory, Giro would go to work studying the Z fighters from afar, learning everything there was to know about them.
And built
You really gotta think though, the dedication is insane. But I'm pretty sure Goku killed his son, so I kind of understand it. We have this joke about Goku sparing people nowadays, but Goku had like hundreds of murders. He does.
a series of androids that would destroy his spiky-haired nemesis once and for all.
He made a ton of them. Infinite energy androids, key absorbing
Even
androids,
made himself one.
trucker head androids.
Wait. How did Dr. Giro put his brain into an android body? How did he do it?
And even ginger androids.
However,
Gingers.
none of Giro's creations were capable
There's nothing
of
wrong with
matching that
gingers. I wish I
drive
was
to
ginger.
improve that Goku and his fellow martial artists possessed.
Luckily, he had one more android left. A cute little booger so complex he'd take years after Giro's death to complete. Its name was Cell.
Born from a single cell, get it? This android possessed the genetic information of all the greatest warriors that had battled on Earth, and, when fully evolved, would become unstoppable.
And with their DNA, Cell absorbed all their powers and techniques too.
Common among all of them is the power to manipulate ki, or the energy that exists in all living things, and weaponize it to
Wait. So, with Perfect Cell, right? After his, kamikaze and Goku, after that whole situation, and he comes back, I have always taken that to mean Cell got Super Saiyan, because he is technically part Saiyan. Cell finally unlocked Super Saiyan, and then if he would have pushed it, he could have got Super Saiyan too.
fire energy blasts, fly at faster than light speeds, move things with telekinesis, and create force fields.
From the humans, Krillin and Tien, Cell knows the multiform technique, Destructo Disc, and the Tri-Beam, his extra special favorite.
Pico-ho!
Oh, weird, I'm not seeing Chaozu on this list.
Pico-ho!
Sorry, bud.
Is
Pico-ho!
Chelsea human?
Oh,
Pico-ho!
Cell can fire the death
Pico, how you doing?
beam, as well as breathe in and travel through the vacuum of space with the alien genes of Frieza and his father.
and because he's got Piccolo's DNA, Cell can regenerate humongous damage to his body at the cost of some keys.
Cell has survived having half his body vaporized multiple times, and cannot be destroyed unless the small cluster of cells at the core of his being is eradicated.
Should that little bugger survive, Cell will always return, even stronger than
I didn't get a
before
Zen card.
because of the Saiyan DNA he got from Goku and Vegeta.
I'm telling you, he
Definitely
went
the
Super Saiyan.
cream of the genetic crop.
Sure, he can perfectly replicate attacks like the Gallic Gun, Spirit Bomb, and of course,
Canonically, it was the garlic gun. It was the garlic gun. Get it right, it was the garlic gun.
Kamehameha, as well as teleport by locking onto a living being's key signature.
But the best part of being a Saiyan is how much crazy stronger they get every
I'm
time
glad
they
Vegeta
almost
finally
die.
got
They can
instant
even evolve to
transmission.
become orders of magnitude stronger in the midst of battle. Combine that with Cell's healing factor, and he's effectively the ultimate warrior.
Like a perpetual shonen motion machine.
Driven by a biological imperative, Cell wanted nothing more than to devour Giro's previous androids, 17 and 18, believing it would.
I devour Android 18. Oh, if you didn't know, hi, Kuro, proud lesbian, nice to meet you. Pretty sure there's some new people here. But yes, I would devour 18. So would be nothing compared to me.
Make him perfect.
Only one problem. The Cell we know was born in the future, and both 17 and 18 had been destroyed. So he murdered Trunks and went back in time.
This
Not
is for
our
Gohan.
Trunks, future Trunks. Well, not future Trunks, but another future Trunks. It's very complicated. There's like 5 timelines.
As Cell defeated and absorbed the androids, he evolved, not only getting stronger, but changing his personality and developing a lust for battle.
He became less creepy bug serial killer and more, well, Saiyan. After exploiting that very Saiyan arrogance and warrior's pride, Cell finally became perfect.
And easily dominated Trunks.
He is for priceless, the look upon your faces. He is for extinction, all your puny races. All for revolution, which will be televised. F this for how fuck you are, and now allow me to reprise. E is for eccentric, just listen to my song. C is for completion, that I've waited for so long. T is for the terror upon you I'll bestow. My name is Perfect Kuro, and I'd like to say hello.
And Vegeta, the latter of whom had decades of battle experience under his belt.
Perfect Cell's power was off the charts. He could threaten the whole Earth just by powering up. With a full power Kamehameha, he was even capable of destroying our entire solar system.
While the vast majority of our solar system's mass is located in the sun, this still means that Cell's key wave would have to reach 2.8 billion miles to eradicate every planet.
But Wiz, maybe he was just exaggerating.
Not likely. Cell's claim has been backed up in multiple guidebooks, and even demonstrated outright.
So there's
in
no
the
way
video
that
game.
robot thingy
Cell's
can
even
win.
stronger in the
Just so you know, I'm not a Sonic hater. I'm not a Sonic hater at all. I actually really like Sonic. I used to have like the old games on like a Dreamcast, and then I had the Game Boy games, and then I even had the Sonic 2006. They never brought back Silver, which Silver is basically Trunks when you think about it. But they're not powerful enough to, you know, take on Cell Arc and above characters. Maybe I would have some leeway. Namek, no. Probably you get leeway about Saiyan Saga before Vegeta goes grade 8. That's around the tier that Sonic characters should be.
anime adaptation, considering the time Frieza blew up Namek. In the anime, the explosion
And that's
was
Saiyan
literally
Saga.
hundreds of light years wide and lit up the friggin' galaxy.
And Cell was far stronger than Frieza was at that point in time.
Hell, the Namekians could sense him all the way from a different galaxy and thought he might be a threat to the whole universe.
He's also incredibly fast, capable of blitzing even the strongest Z fighters at the time. Goku flew from Grand Kai's planet of heaven all the way to hell, hundreds of billions of light years in half a minute. And that was in his base form.
Yeah, that's cool, but how about the power to squeeze mini Cell Juniors out of your butt? What? Never heard of that? Key technique?
I forgot he could
Call
do
it
that.
the
Yeah,
Kegel.
yeah. So, did he just say Kegel? Okay. But look. Even if, for some reason, he was able to even hurt Cell, which shouldn't be possible, but then Cell's regeneration. But on top of that, Cell can just poop out Cell Juniors, and they're relatively as strong as, like, his non-super perfect form. There was no way this Metal Sonic, because I've heard the name before, but he's just a robot that Eggman made. There's no way. Eggman is not Gero level. He's not.
Perfect Cell was entirely without peer and, no longer wedded to Gero's petty grudge, decided to prove it with a tournament.
The Cell Games! And if Goku couldn't even beat him, what hope did anyone else have? Vegeta couldn't even handle a Cell Jr.
Their last hope was
That was
Goku's
Vegeta
own
Jr.
son, Gohan.
After Cell arrogantly let him power up, Gohan unleashed his rage, pushed the bug monster to his absolute limits, and beat him. Wow, Cell, you really are related to Vegeta, aren't you?
In truth, Cell was a victim of his own success. The
Are you gonna eat that? No. Can I? No.
same Saiyan genes that made him all-powerful also sowed the seeds of his defeat.
He got so mad he even blew himself up. Maybe he does have some Chaozu in him after all.
That wasn't enough to
That is a dirty thing to do to Chaozu. Saying that his contribution to Cell was a kamikaze attack. So that if that's the case, we need to see Cell lying down on the ground like Yamcha.
put him down, and he came back with the same Super Saiyan power-up that Gohan had just unlocked.
Super Perfect Cell! Now with more lightning,
Super-
in a battle
Mr.
for the
Super
ages,
Perfect Cell.
put the entire weight of his biological programming against one lone Saiyan, and went the distance.
But in the end, it still wasn't enough. No matter how brilliantly Dr. Gero copied the Z-Fighters, he still couldn't quite
Gohan
figure out
ate
their
that
knack
horse.
for going
He
beyond.
ate that
What
horse.
can be destroyed can always be rebuilt. All it takes to recreate the most fearsome warrior in the universe is one single cell.
Time and again, the world and its cuddly forest critters were threatened by the evil
They are
and
cuddly.
evil Dr. Ivo Eggman Robotnik.
And again, that same world and those
You know,
same critters were saved
whenever
by
I would call
Sonic
him
the
Dr.
Hedgehog.
Robotnik, people would tell
matter
me I
how
was
many
wrong, but I
robotic
always knew I
bandits
was
the
right.
Good doctor threw at his blue spiky nemesis. His schemes were always 6 spin jumps to the glowing wing spot away from
I just
getting
saw
cracked
Sonic on
and
4Ks.
scrambled.
But it wouldn't be over easy for Eggman. If he couldn't defeat the Blue Blur, he would make his own, Metal Sonic.
Well, 0 points on creativity for that name, but god damn,
just
he
a
does
robot,
look
though.
metal as hell.
They say imitation is the
So if he can make a Sonic, if he can make because I'm assuming this is a clone of Sonic, a robot clone of Sonic, hence Metal Sonic. If he can make this and replicate Sonic's abilities, why not just do that and give those abilities to himself instead of making a robot?
sincerest form of flattery, so Eggman built Metal with more than enough blast processing to match his prototype.
Metal can zoom around at massively hypersonic speeds, fast enough to fly to nearby planets in seconds.
He's tougher than Eggman's
But that's
standard
not enough
equipment,
for
some of which
Dragon
can
Ball
survive
speed.
black
That's not
holes.
enough.
Metal can use all of Sonic's power-ups, and even replicate his classic spin dash and light speed attack.
But he's
Oh
got
wait, I
moves
hadn't
of his
considered
own.
that. You do get power-ups in Sonic, and I'm not just talking about the Chaos Emeralds. You get random power-ups. It shouldn't be enough, especially since Cell knows all of the Z-Fighters techniques, at least up to that point. Which means, if backed into a corner, Cell can pull out the Kaioken.
He can attack with energy blast, fire a chest laser, surround himself in an electric aura, or an impenetrable force field.
By overloading his circuitry with energy, Metal can activate V Maximum Overdrive, quadrupling his acceleration and obliterating anything in his path, at the risk of self-destructing.
You'd think all that'd be enough to turn the rodent into roadkill, but it only took one showdown on
Wait, are
Stardust
hedgehogs
Speedway to
rodents?
send Metal to the scrap heap.
On paper, Metal should be able to outmatch Sonic in every way, and yet he doesn't. For some reason, Eggman wasn't able to capture that ineffable quality that makes Sonic the fastest thing alive. Metal's defeats at the hands of Sonic and his friends sharpened his AI into a seething hatred of his rival and a burning desire
Wait,
to
did he
prove
get
himself
possessed?
superior.
Wait, did he get possessed like that one guy off of Five Nights at Freddy's? Where he got trapped in a suit and then his aura, hatred, malice, evilness, or whatever it is, he possessed it and now it has a will of its own? Is that what happened here?
Yeah, well, when you're getting your supersized
Knuckles!
red-ass
I always
handed
liked
to you by
Knuckles.
Charmy B, you know something's gone horribly wrong.
Metal's defeats gave him an existential crisis. If he was created to surpass Sonic and couldn't even manage that, what was he? Why should he exist?
Never one to admit defeat,
failure.
Eggman took
That's
Metal
what you
back
are,
to the
a
drawing board
failure.
and birthed him anew. You.
This Neo Metal Sonic was, above all, far smarter.
Especially after he copied Eggman's intelligence and took over his empire. And we mean literally copied.
Huh.
If Metal started as Sonic's copycat, why not hunt all of his furry friends down and copy them too?
Neo Metal Sonic
Oh,
is
wait,
equipped with
is he
scanners
like-
in his optic
Oh, okay, this might actually be a fight then. If he can assimilate abilities, this might be a fight. If he cannot copy the abilities of Cell, he doesn't win. If he cannot regenerate like Cell, he doesn't win. And if he cannot stack the strength of the people he absorbs, he doesn't win. Cause even if he could get Cell's abilities, Cell can like one-shot him. He's a robot, like solar system. You know, this isn't a competition, I don't think.
Receptors that can copy a person's biodata, giving him the ability to recreate all of their abilities in seconds.
Like the
Oh,
Sonic Boom,
okay.
Knuckles' Hammer Punch, Tails' magical swiveling asshole, and Big's ability to suck at fishing.
Metal isn't just learning their moves, he can replicate more esoteric powers like silver psychokinesis, manufacture Rouge's
Ah.
mechanical bat guards, or alter his
Okay, so it is like assimilating abilities. So then he's essentially limitless, is what you're saying. So now I think this comes down to firepower and how strong he can get and how fast. I still don't think any of the Sonic characters put together should be able to match Super Perfect Cell like punch for punch. Just being able to copy their abilities doesn't mean you have their strength.
very biology to copy Espio's chameleon invisibility. It's worth mentioning that biological data is a real scientific term and can refer to molecular structures like the genome sequence within a living organism's DNA.
Yeah, his copying is so busted, it doesn't really matter that he's a robot made of metal. If you can do it, so can he. Probably helps that he can shapeshift and regenerate his whole body from a puddle.
Likely by copying one of the mightiest beings on the planet, the god of destruction, Chaos.
Not the only chaos he's encountered.
By scanning the ultimate life form,
So, what happens when Cell just throws him into the sun? I mean, because he can do that. He really can. Granted, though, if he copies any of Cell's abilities, actually, him copying anybody's ability, period, because since it like copies on a DNA level from what they said, that would automatically give them key, which means if they try to say that instant transmission is invalid because he's a robot, that is a fallacy. I just wanna, cause I can see it coming. They're gonna try and like swindle Cell out of the win, cause he's obviously the more powerful character. So, if he says that, just know.
Shadow the Hedgehog, he gained his ability to manipulate some of the most powerful artifacts in the universe.
You mean the Chaos Emeralds?
Yes, the emeralds contain an infinite wellspring of mystical power and life energy. With them, Metal can perform Shadow's chaos control. He can teleport, warp, and distort space, boost his speed, and stop time. And with either the Chaos Emeralds or Master Emerald, he can transform into Super Neo Metal Sonic.
Completely invulnerable and completely golden, Super Neo Metal Sonic can move at faster than light speeds and has the power to move continents.
The emeralds
really
are
just
inconceivably powerful. They've been
But they really just copied Dragon Ball. They really did.
used to fuel Eggman's Death Egg, which could obliterate star systems.
A death
On their
egg?
own, they can even create and destroy whole
Isn't an egg
universes.
Death
Other
Star?
super characters like Sonic
Like
have
Star
battled
Wars,
and
but
defeated beings like
egg?
the Time Eater, who could destroy multiple
sounds like a
dimensions
Rick and Morty
timelines
thing.
in seconds. At their peak, 3 super hedgehogs have even fought Solaris, who nearly consumed Sonic's entire multiverse.
So Super Neo Metal Sonic should be just as powerful as any of them, though he's gotta be quick because all that power only lasts a short time.
The road to total domination was nearly at an end. After manipulating Sonic and friends and copying their abilities, Metal eventually combined their biodata with the mighty
Wait.
Egg Fleet and became
Wait, let me ask you this. Does Metal Sonic get to keep his copied abilities, or do they go away after a while? Or do they go away after he uses them a couple of times? How does that work? Because that will play into the fight. Does he get to keep the abilities forever? Do they run out after a certain amount of time? Can he only use them a certain amount of time? We'll see. But Cell still has this. I know he does. Logically.
Metal Overlord.
Complete with
Krillin
missiles,
should be
giant
able to
crystal
win.
projectiles, and the strength to match 3 supersonic heroes all by himself, Overlord is all-time final boss material.
And he knew it. His ego might as well have had its own health bar. Metal's drive to surpass his rival had morphed into the delusional belief that he was the original, and Sonic the loathsome copy.
A copy that Metal had finally outclassed. All the heroes Metal had gathered had to team up to take him down.
He may have stolen their abilities, but Metal never possessed the thing that made the Sonic heroes successful, their friendship and teamwork.
Aw, how cute! Gag. Probably should have added some of those goddamn rails to the final boss fight, cause it is impossible to land on those things. After getting trashed again, Eggman reprogrammed Metal to purge any bits of rebelliousness from his code.
Metal returned to being the Eggman Army's chief enforcer, always proving invaluable as the Bad Doctor's greatest creation, now completely obedient once again.
I don't know, Wiz. Who knows what's really going on behind those glowing red eyes? Maybe Metal is more cunning than he lets on, and is only biding his time until he can take over again.
Maybe the most powerful thing that Metal copied was the ability to lie.
Before we get started, Cell for the win. He is the perfect being. Mr. Perfect Cell. Mr. Super Perfect Cell. Mr. Perfect all day, every day, glorious King Perfect Cell. Dun 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 dun.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Hey, come on, Cell.
Salutations, Dr. Robotnik. Your reputation precedes you. Bring me your
Doctor.
strongest fighter, or face... and prepare to leave before your master.
Wait, so he's ultimate. Not ultimate. He's like the upgraded him. Okay, so he still is upgraded. He just looks like his normal form. And at the end of what they said, okay. Alright, I just want to understand this correctly.
Perfect.
Electricity should do nothing. See, I hate the fact that they waste time on the multi-form technique because it like, oh, Makako-sampo! The Makako-sampo and the Makako-sam cannon. The Makako-sampo. Or, if you want to get really spicy, the nail gun!
Tell me, does a machine like yourself ever experience fear?
Careful, Cell. Your Vegeta showing.
Not anymore!
Wait, did he already transform? Oh yeah, he's gonna lose. He already transformed, he's gonna lose. Oh wait, no. He has 2 transformations. So then Cell's gonna transform and then he's gonna transform again and then they're gonna find some bullshit reason for Cell to lose. But Cell should win. There's no... Ooh. The Cell, you don't even have to try this hard.
Fool, you're dealing with the ultimate life form.
Wait, hold on. Did you see those impact frames?
You're dealing
Hold on.
with
First form Cell.
the
Second form Cell.
ultimate life form.
Third form Cell.
Data. Observe. Chaos. Done. True. Life form beta successfully copied. Scan.
And this now means, without a doubt, Metal Sonic has key, which means the instant transmission will work now. And Cell can track him, like using key. And this is basically a Cell versus Goku again. Yeah, no, because he was beating up Metal Sonic really, really bad. And him copying their data just gives him the abilities. It doesn't make him physically stronger. They never said that.
It'll take more than that to kill me, puppet! I know. Now I know everything about you, insect.
What, did he just do the Cell head tap? But, I wish I had full body tracking right now, but he just did the Cell head tap. Okay, that was cool. But Cell hasn't even gone super perfect yet, and you're already in your perfect form. Oh, the Cell Juniors. Oh, wait. he can do it too because now he has Cell's abilities. Which, such a cop-out, but I guess. But the Cell Jr. should be stronger. Just, again, you got his abilities, not his strength. The planet should be destroyed right now. Okay, wait. No. If Metal Sonic is using Shinki Kaho against Cell, and that would mean... Bro, first off, he's using his emeralds, which he said he can only do that for a short time. But if he's using Shinki Kaho, a move that we've never seen Cell do, but we know he has because, again, like I said, he has all of their DNA and moves because of that. That would mean Cell has Kaioken. So if Cell does not pull out Kaioken on top of his, like, super perfect Super Saiyan form, this is rigged. It is.
Don't you dare.
He said, don't you dare. Well, but hold on, wait. He just used Shinki Kaho. That is a move that kills you by depleting your spirit. He copied Cell's, like, DNA, biology, and shit to be able to use his abilities, which means he's now, like, at least, if not biology, he is tied by the spiritual energy of Ki. So, he should die from firing off this barrage of Shinki Kohos. He should. If they play this off like, oh yeah, he just did the Shinki Koho, nothing happens. But if they play it like that, you know this is super biased, cause, no, this doesn't make sense even within the context of the Dragon Ball universe. To the perfect Cell? Wait, but how is Metal Sonic able to keep this level of power so far? They said he can only do it for like a minute. And then that Shinki Koho enough to kill Cell? Maybe. I can give that one a pass. And then he hasn't even used Kaioken yet, which he can. He used Shinki Koho if he can. And then, on top of which, you know what, let's play this.
Just the greatest warrior in the universe. I am all of them. If you are all of them, then so am I. I'll never lose to a machine like... You.
So, what happened to that time limit on that, on the super form? What happened to that? And then, he's just gonna get stuck into a time frozen. First off, we've seen that you can predict teleportation. Cell has done it. And stopping time to move and then fire an attack. That is effectively teleportation. You're moving without time elapsing. Cell should be able to... No. Rigged.
So,
This is rigged.
Metal's got all
Rigged.
the powers of
No.
the Chaos Emeralds and the Z Fighters? Well, that world's fucked. Our bad.
Cell may have been one of the greatest threats in Dragon Ball Z,
No,
but
see,
Eggman's
no.
greatest creation ultimately proved too much for him.
And then wait. Huh. If he gets the Chaos Emeralds, why doesn't Cell get the Dragon Balls? Wait, no. He can get the Chaos Emeralds, which is a thing outside of his, like, toolkit. That is just some magical items they have in their universe. That is not his normal toolkit. I know that, at least. So, if he just gets the fucking Chaos Emeralds, why doesn't Cell get the Dragon Balls? Nah, this is rigged. I told you, it's rigged.
Let's break this
It's
down into
rigged.
4 categories.
This is rigged.
Strength,
This is
speed,
rigged.
abilities, and adaptation.
First up, who was the strongest?
Nah, this is...
Well, it's no surprise that any version of Cell was gonna be way more powerful than base Metal or Neo. Even just using the manga, blowing up a solar system is far beyond the level of power output Metal can match.
Without his stronger forms. With them, the power gap entirely reversed. Not only could Metal match Cell's solar system busting or scaling from Frieza, but he could surpass
How?
it with the universe-destroying power of the Emeralds.
But hang on, Wiz. Those Namekians said that Cell...
Wait, Wait, no. But see, why does he get the emeralds, but Cell doesn't get the Dragon Balls? Here, Cell the Dragon Balls. Alright, you get the emeralds, Cell. You get the emeralds. Cell gets the Dragon Balls. We see who wins. No, that's cheating. How did he get his?
Did, but they
Bro,
didn't specify
Cell didn't
how,
get
and
his.
There's nothing
No.
suggesting he can destroy it in one go, especially since it's only brought up theoretically and without any time frame.
Even being generous and assuming he could just blow it up, final bosses like Time Eater and Solaris can destroy the wider multiverse, and Super Neo Metal would scale to them. Metal Sonic takes the edge in strength,
And with Sonic characters being known for their speed, you might think that was an easy win for Metal.
and his max speed in his
So again, you're not going to take into account the fact that Metal transformed first. He transformed first. They fought for a minute. And then he caught Cell with the Shinkikoho. What happened to the time limit? Realistically, Cell should have been able to outlast him. Never
super
mind.
form, he should be comparable to entities like the Time Eater, who in Shadow Generations can destroy entire universes in seconds. By using the radius of the observable universe, we can estimate the Time Eater's destructive wave traveled at about 180 quadrillion times faster than light.
Certainly impressive, but let's compare that to Goku's flight from heaven to hell shortly after the Cell games, which covered roughly a universe in distance at approximately 180 quadrillion times faster than light.
Hey, just like Time Eater. The difference, though, was that Goku was in his base form, way slower than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan or Super Perfect Cell.
Factoring in Super Saiyan multipliers, Super Perfect Cell can move upwards of 100 times faster than that, and so 100 times faster than Metal Sonic. Somehow, Cell takes the edge in speed. You know, the thing Metal was designed for.
Wasn't expecting that. Let's see if any of their abilities could tip the scales.
They shared many of the same powers, like telekinesis, force fields, and energy projectiles. Of note though, Cell's regeneration was clearly superior, able to fully heal from a single cluster of microscopic cells.
On top of that, Cell's
Yeah.
Saiyan genes would let him grow in power every time he almost died, and his Cell Juniors gave him the numbers advantage.
And considering Super Neo Metal had a time limit, Cell would have a big advantage in a battle of
Yeah, where did that time limit come in? Kinda just forgot about that towards the end of the fight, huh?
attrition.
But with Chaos Control, that became a lot tougher.
Cell and his juniors had no way to deal with Metal
Again, why does he get a Chaos Emerald? Actually, not even a Chaos Emerald. He gets all 7 Chaos Emeralds. Yet, Cell gets no Dragon Balls? How is that fair? How is that fair? Realistically, how is that fair?
boosting his speed or stopping time, something that countered Cell's speed advantage and left him open. And with Silver's Psychokinesis, or the Emerald Spatial Distortion, Metal could seriously impair Cell's healing.
So it helped that Cell could fall back on his martial arts abilities in a pinch.
Also, they never said, does Metal Sonic keep his powers? Or do they go away after a while? Cause something tells me that they go away. Something tells me they do. Just for the sake of, like, power in the universe. I'm pretty sure the author wrote that his powers go away for whatever reason. You know, this whole thing is just rigged.
Despite effectively being a newborn, Cell's genetic instincts allowed him to best Earth's most skilled warriors back to back to back.
Metal may have copied Eggman's brains, but he definitely isn't as good of a fighter. The Sonic heroes haven't trained like the Z fighters, and Metal's been beaten by all of them a bunch of times. So all that in mind, abilities is roughly a wash.
Which leaves us with the one thing they're both known for, their capability to evolve and become more powerful in response to their opponents, aka their adaptation.
And frankly, that's where this back and forth completely breaks. Because at the end of the day, Metal can copy Cell, but Cell can't absorb Metal.
Cell's ability to physically absorb an opponent is primarily viable against foes he can match or overpower.
Even if he took Metal by surprise, he can't absorb fully inorganic robots like Android 16.
Cell was only able to absorb androids 17 and 18 because they were primarily organic.
They're actually more like cyborgs and are only called androids in the
They literally are cyborgs.
English translation.
Metal, on the other hand, can copy a target's biodata through only a few seconds of direct eyesight, something he could easily accomplish during a time stop.
And using it on Cell means he wouldn't just get Cell's powers, but the powers of all of the Z Warriors.
He would get their abilities, not their power. Not their physical power. That's no. At no point was that ever stated.
Too.
Remember, Metal's copying applies to abilities that fundamentally affect his own biology, like Espio's invincibility or Chaos's liquid body. Nothing Cell has would be off limits, especially given all of Cell's powers were genetically encoded in the first place, quite literally biodata.
Which would mean he has all of the weaknesses of Ki. So Cell should be able to win using that knowledge alone.
Cell's Saiyan power-ups? Copied. Cell's regeneration? Copied. Cell's key techniques? Believe it or not, copied.
Chaos Emeralds are described as being able to produce life energy.
Yeah,
similar
why
to
does he
heat.
get the
So
Chaos
there's a precedent
Emeralds?
for him being able to replicate Cell's
Why
powers.
does he
And
get?
at this point,
Why
there's nothing
does he
stopping
get the
Metal from,
emeralds?
say,
Okay, so then give Cell the Dragon Balls. He get the emerald, Cell gets the Dragon Balls. It's only fair, right?
stopping time and using a Kamehameha to vaporize him at a cellular level, just like Gohan did.
Cell might be able to do anything the Z-Fighters know how to do, but that's not gonna help him, because Metal can do anything Cell knows how to do. Strange, isn't it?
Cell just
No,
doesn't have any
but that
options to
doesn't-
retaliate that Metal
that
wouldn't also
doesn't-
possess.
That doesn't stop the power difference though. And the moment Cell realized that Metal could actually be a threat, Cell would have destroyed him. Cell doesn't play when he thinks he might actually lose.
Including any of his previous advantages. Metal's copy ability is just that overpowered.
Oh, I guess now I get why they called it Sonic CD.
Why's that?
Cell died. Wiz, you get it? CD? Wiz, where you go? Come on back. Next time on Death Battle.
Alright, well, we're done with this farce of a video. Totally rigged, as you can tell by all the points I brought up. But, yeah, you know, let's into that, so I guess we'll do it again next time. Go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, you already know, we'll do it again. Bye, losers. KuroKumo out.